y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiara. I am so grateful for this encounter with one another. This week has been a very busy week, but a very blessed week. God has been so good to me. Um, and and I'm just grateful for the peace that I found in the midst of all the things that were going on this week for me. So whew, let's take a little moment to just be grateful. Just breathe in, breathe out kind of thing. And and so yeah, I hope that you guys had a good week, an intentional week and so forth. And I hope that you are able, as always, to tune in to Talk About It Thursday here on the Journey Podcast. I had a good time. I just kind of was talking for real. So if you haven't checked that out already, please go and do so. It is available for you guys to see on the website at thejourneypodcast.life. I think that's it. As far as like a little startup kind of thing, so we can just go ahead and dive into this week's episode. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about um, wanting validation, that you're going in a right direction or that people are noticing that you're changing. A lot of the time, I think that we start our journey and we're excited about it, but others aren't as excited for us as we are because they're used to us being who we were and being how we were and so forth and so on. And so they can't um process the fact that we've adopted a new mindset or that they're calling and they want to talk about certain things that I don't want to do anymore. I don't want That's not the conversation that I want to have. I want to have growth conversations. I want to talk about how I want to talk about my business plan and I want to share, I want to share. Let's exchange ideas. Let's not talk about how our friend Trisha or Sarah or whatever the case may be, or Timothy or whatever the case may be. Well, let's not talk about how they're doing in life and how they should be doing better or whatever the case may be, because guess what? That is none of our business. And who are we to um who are we to judge someone else's journey at the end of the day? And so that's why gossiping for me, I just feel like nobody, like, let's get out of that, And so um also, like, other things, maybe you don't want to sit and drink anymore. You don't want to sit and talk about the old days where you used to be this way and used to have all this money because you were doing XYZ, and you used to. Let's not talk about used to. Let's talk about how we're moving forward. Let's have healthy conversations. And that's why it's important to have healthy connections. So, and another thing, that's why it's okay to make new friends. Another thing I wanted to touch on, a lot of the time, people think that having a male or female friend matters. At the end of the day, to me, a friend is a friend. And as long as my friend comes to me genuine, I can be your friend. As long as you respect, my mindset, my lifestyle, and what I have going on. It doesn't matter if you're an alien. As long as your intentions are good and that you are pure at heart, and that's why discernment is important, as well, because you sometimes I've had people that I thought was my friend approach me in a way that was uncomfortable for me, where I was like, dang, I thought she was my friend. I didn't, like, what? Not, so be careful with that. But of course, like I said, you can learn things from having friends of the opposite sex that mean well, that want to see you grow, that want to see you elevate. Um, and so that's important. But I think a lot of the times we look for those that we're familiar with, like our friends, our parents, just anybody that we're close with, co-workers and stuff, to notice our progress on our journey. And we look like, dang, they're not going to say nothing about how good I'm doing, or they don't see that I'm different. They don't see that I'm talking different. They see it. They know. And sometimes some people don't want to see you operating differently. Sometimes when it's parents, I feel like they know best as far as what God wants for you. Or like, oh, this is my kid. I know that they're supposed to be doing this, or they're supposed to be doing that, or who are you think God told you more about me than he told me about me? So I'm on this journey that that I want to be on, and as much as I would love and appreciate your support, I am fine without it. I don't need validation to move forward. I don't need you to say, "Oh yeah, you're going in the right direction. Keep going." I don't need you to say that, because at the end of the day, I know what God has for me. I know what God called me. And so I know that I have to go to who I'm being called. I have to go and be who I'm being called to be, because if I allow the fact that you didn't cheer me on and you didn't support me and you didn't look at the Journey podcast, or that you didn't subscribe to the Journey podcast, oh, I'm looking through the subscriptions and your name isn't there, and I get discouraged because that, then that's going to encourage me to stop. It reminds me of when I used to run track and I started training for cross country, and I had my first cross country meet on a college track, and I was so excited about it. And so um, I was living with my grandma, and I invited my parents, and so here I was. Um, I invited them, and I'm looking in the crowd as I'm running by, as I'm going on this journey. I'm going around doing my laps or whatever, and I didn't see them, and I didn't hear anybody cheering me on. I didn't hear like, "Yay, Kiera, keep going," blah blah blah. I didn't hear that, um, and because I didn't hear that, I wanted so bad to stop. I was like, you know what? What's the use of me doing this? And eventually, in my track and field, like um in that, I wanted to I quit. I ended up quitting because I felt like the people that I wanted to be there to support me weren't there enough. They came to some meets, but I wanted them there all the time, like everybody else's parents were. And because they just were unavailable, they were working, they were doing, oh, I gotta work, oh, I got, and so because that was the narrative, I just was like, I gave up, I gave up. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I told myself as an adult, when I shared the very last time that I shared that I used to run track with somebody, they were like, why you quit? Um, and I heard myself say, because my mama and daddy wasn't at my track meet. I listened to myself and I thought about all of the journeys that I started and stopped because of lack of support, or because I felt like, oh, this person isn't supporting me, and I would really love their support, and I would really love for them to show up for me, or I would really love to, even with the podcast. It's some people that I shared the website with, that I shared like the YouTube channel and all that with, that just or gave me reasons why, oh, I didn't get to watch it, oh, I don't watch that, oh, I don't have that, I don't have YouTube, like I don't have this. And I wanted to be discouraged, I wanted to, but that, I said, you know what, when I thought about it, and I thought about when I ran track and how I gave up and how I could have gotten so far with it because I was really really good, and I'm not just saying that because I was really good, y'all. but but I just wanted, all I wanted it was to feel loved. I wanted to feel supported. I wanted to feel like, man, these people are showing up. They're going crazy. And so because I didn't feel like that, I gave up. And so when I saw um when I saw that it was just a matter of um the song, my grandma we used to drive from Hollywood, South Carolina, back um to Charleston, and because my grandma taught in Hollywood, we used to drive from there, and every time on the radio the song would come on, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And so it rings in my head sometimes, and it reminded me like, wow, the words of that song actually mean something. I was today years old. Well, I wasn't today years old, but I was that day, whatever that day years old, when I realized the meaning of that song, that sometimes you do have to encourage yourself because some people that you want to encourage you just aren't going to, or they don't know that you need that, or they have no desire to support you in that journey that you're on. And that's okay. That's okay, guys. That's okay. At some point in our lives, we're going to have to stop looking for validation from others. We're going to have to stop looking for the okay to be who we have been called to be, because as we're walking in a new light, and that's foreign to not to others, it's foreign to us too, but it's foreign to others, and um they don't see us in that light as we're going through the process until we're really shining, where it's like, dang, she did it, or he did it, he made it, he really got that going on for real, she really has that going on, like, wow. And in somewhere in the Bible, I cannot quote the actual thing. I'm about to pull it up because I'm about to tell y'all where to go and look. Hold on, give me a little second. And for those that are on the audio, I am currently googling googling the verse in the Bible, because as much as I love the Lord, and I cannot, I can remember things that happened in the Bible, but I am not the best person. I can't be like, girl, you gotta go to Matthew 3 and 14, and I just can't. Yeah, I'm gonna get like that though. Don't worry, it's coming. It's on the way. Yeah. Hold on now. Not as Matthew. Stop. Listen, y'all. Why I said Matthew 3 and 14 and it's Matthew 7 and 15 through 20. Stop. Stop. Not okay, God. Lead me in a that's how I know he's come on now. He leading me in a direction that I know that I'm supposed to be going in. I ain't going back and forth with y'all about that. So Matthew 7 and 15 through 20 teaches that you can know people by their fruit. And what that means is when you say by their fruit, their actions, their character, and their works, just as you know a tree by the fruit it produces, warning against false prophets who look good but do evil, stating good trees bear good fruit and bad trees bear bad fruit, and that every tree not bearing good fruit is cut down and burned. The concept extends to the fruit of the Spirit, and that's in Galatians 5 and 22, 5:22 through 23. But we're going to stop at the part where it says you can know people by their fruit. So if I see an apple tree, I'm going to know that that's an apple tree because it has nice apples on it, or whatever the case may be. And so when you judge people by their fruit, you look at them, um, you look at people and you see, this is sometimes when the fruit is growing, you don't know exactly what type of tree that is. So it's like, so here it is. Somebody knows you and they know who you were previously. And I hope I can bring this together really good because I feel like, but I'm just gonna do it, whatever. And so and so here you are. The person knows you as the person that you used to be, and so here you are on this journey um to be the better version of yourself and be who God calls you to be, and so forth and so on. And here you are in that process. And so while the fruit um is in the works of growing, they don't know who you are yet. They know who you were. Um and because they know who you were, and here you are trying to not be who you were before, now it's like, who she thinks she is? Like, what's up? What you doing? You know? Weren't you just in prison for 10 years? Weren't you just didn't you just rob somebody 5 years ago? Didn't you just weren't you just talking about these people a couple of months ago? And so here you are on a journey trying to change, and you're trying to and as you're changing, you're making this progress, and they're not going to acknowledge that because all they can think of when they think of you is who you were however long ago. I don't care if it was yesterday. Sometimes we wake up the next day and we are made new in our minds and in our hearts, and that is fine. That is a thing. I've seen it. I've done it. And yeah. And so who who are you to say that I'm not evolving? Who are you to say that I haven't changed? And so sometimes they're not going to call it out and say, hey, I've noticed that you're talking different. I've noticed that you're really growing. And so here you are now. They don't acknowledge your growth, they don't acknowledge the fruit until they see everybody else saying, "Oh man," and everybody else be people that didn't know you from your past. Sometimes it's easier to have new friends than it is to have old friends, because it's the ones that knew you from the past. It's like they can't let go of who you used to be, and so here they are. They're seeing you thriving, doing really good in life, and they're like, "Oh man, I remember when she or he used to do this, or I remember when they got in this big trouble, or I remember when she used to curse people out at the drop of a dime. She was real rude and disrespectful. Okay, she not like that no more. And so sometimes, like I said, it's easier to just have people that don't know you. It's not like you're running away from your past, but it's putting it behind you. Sometimes people aren't able, they're not capable of doing that. They can't say, "Wow, you've been made new." They are just like, "Oh, she thinks she's better. She used to do this," and they will put you in remembrance of them things. Eat quick, okay? Oh, don't act like you. Yeah, no, I'm acting like that because that's no. And so that's why sometimes, yeah, just and then you are going to have those people that are proud because they saw where you came from, and they know where you came from. They know where you came from and what you've been through. And they're so happy that you chose better, that you're doing better, and that that things worked out for you. Although you came from troubled beginnings, and you are here and you are thriving in a positive light. You're not on the news for anything negative. You're not on, you're on the news, you're on the big screen because of the positivity that you've put into the community and so forth and so on. And so um it makes your heart melt. It's great, it's good things. And so I just definitely just love I have enjoyed having new friends. I have enjoyed that. I've enjoyed having the friends that I have and that are supportive of me. I appreciate them. I appreciate um like the family members that I have that are supportive of me and that don't judge me by my past and don't hold my past against me. And the people that just period that know me that can look at me and say, "Hey, wow, Kiara, um she's so different now," which overall I think I kind of always been like had good energy. But I definitely was a hothead at some point, and so here we are, evolving. Hold on, evolution. Here we are evolving, and God has been so good, and I would love for people to see me that in that light versus like holding angry Kiera against me. Like, can we let that go? Anyways, or depressed Kiera. Like, let's let that let's let that go. You know, let's be happy about the fact that that I am in a good and positive space or whatever the case may be. Because God has been good to me. Let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate that God is good. And so and so oftentimes we're looking for that validation or for others to verify that they've acknowledged the change, and we're not rooting for ourselves fully. Root for yourself, and I promise other people will follow suit. They're gonna, wow, you're doing so good. I love this and I love that. I love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, and so forth and so on. So it's sometimes when sometimes I don't know why. I don't know why. Sometimes people need to see other people supporting you before they do. Why? I do not know. I have no idea. I feel like um I shared this thing on social media where I was like where it said like healed people support others. So it's those that people that I feel like that's real. I feel like people that are unhealed, they find it so hard to support somebody in their healing process or after they've healed, you know, and so they're like, hold on now. The misery loves company is a real thing. What does that mean? What does that mean, Kier? Misery loves company. When someone is miserable and unhappy with their life and how things are going for them, they tend to want people to also be in the same ship as them. But honey, I'm not getting in that boat. I got a whole other boat that I got to go in, and it's in Miami, and the sun is shining, and it's nice and cute, and the water is nice. And yeah, matter of fact, I ain't in Miami. I'm in the Bahamas. I'm in the Bahamas. That's where I'm at. Stop. and so you know, I hope that this helps somebody today. Let's not look for verification and validation from others. Let's not stop on this journey this time. The last time was the last time that we started something and gave up because not enough people were supporting, or not the people that we wanted to support us were supporting. Let's not give up. If God put it on your heart to do, if you put it in your heart to be that person, or do that thing, or be that real estate agent, that entrepreneur, that management team, that anything, whatever you felt in your heart that He called you to do, just do it. Just do it, and don't give up. When you start, don't get stuck in the start. We're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on making our action plans. How are we going to get to this? What are we going to do? Who are we going to surround ourselves by? Who no longer serves, who has served their purpose, and we are no longer in need of their company? Let's start analyzing these things and analyze, and acknowledge those that do support us, those that do show up for us, those that do love us, instead of focusing so heavily on the people that find it robbery to show up for us. Find it robbery to click that subscribe button just because they don't want to be a part of that first 1,000 followers. Or that first 100 followers, or that first 50 followers. Start the podcast. Go ahead, do the YouTube channel. Do whatever it is that you're doing. Create the content on social media. Love on those that do support you. However, in whatever light they can do that in, um whatever that looks like for them, you know, be grateful for them. Don't focus so much on the people that haven't said, well, you know, I noticed that you're doing a little bit better. I noticed that you're not as depressed. I noticed that you haven't been complaining as much as you used to. Say it, you know? Um, say, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you showing up on my journey. Um, and I'm grateful for being who God called you to be to me. Um, because it means a lot to me. And so, yeah, I think we can go ahead and just wrap it up with that, because I love that, and that made me happy. That made my heart smile. Um, and I pray that God is good to you this week. He wakes you up every day, and He wakes you up on Thursday to listen to Talk About It Thursday. um, God has always been good to me, and so I'm grateful. I love you guys with my whole heart. I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday for Talk About It Thursday. Ooh, Thursday is Christmas. We might not be on Talk About It Thursday this week, guys. Just a heads up. So if I do not post on Thursday, happy holidays to you guys. Whatever holiday you are celebrating, please celebrate it in peace and happiness and with love. I love you guys with my whole heart. I love your family and your friends for being in your life and being on this journey with you. And yeah, happy holidays if I don't see you guys. I love you. Bye.